Okay, back on the Rich Van Tassel channel, we are giving you an NBA Player Focus Playoff Edition. And for this one, we are looking at Jeff Teague, the point guard of the Atlanta Hawks. Now, we talked a little bit about this yesterday when we were discussing the Eastern Conference breakdown. Um, I was talking about the matchup between Avery Bradley, what I would expect to be Avery Bradley and Jeff Teague in these playoffs. The Atlanta Hawks, obviously, people would look at the matchup between Paul Millsap, how well he's played this year, and the struggles the Celtics have had, and that's certainly an issue. But you look at Jeff Teague, and really he's going to cause a big problem for the Boston Celtics because you have Isaiah Thomas, who is the Celtics' leading scorer, one of their better players, if not their best player, who needs to be on the court, but certainly he is a bit of a liability defensively. And we discussed yesterday how I would like to see if Brad Stevens will put Isaiah Thomas on Kyle Korver and have him chasing the screens and then really shut down Jeff Teague with Avery Bradley. Now, you look at Jeff Teague, this is a guy who between his first year in 2009, 2010, and 2013, 2014 improved his scoring averages every year, improved his assists all the way up to 7.2 in 2012, 2013. They dipped down to 6.7 in 2013, 2014. His scoring numbers have gone down since the 2013-2014 season of 15.9 to 15.7. He did have 7 assists per game last year and 5.9 assists per game this year. Now, Teague has always been a guy I have felt has been very underrated. He's lightning fast. He's certainly a very dangerous player. And as much as, again, we discussed Paul Millsap, I'm looking at Jeff Teague as being a very key factor in this series. And I think he's going to be the reason why either Atlanta wins or Atlanta loses this series. It's obviously going to be the battle of the zeros between him and Avery Bradley. And we're going to see who will get the better of that matchup. Now, will Avery Bradley be able to take it to Jeff Teague defensively? That'll certainly be very interesting. Teague is not the best defender, only has 3 steals per game. He is a fast guy. He is a big, strong guy at 6'2", 185. So you would expect a bit more from him defensively. Or no, excuse me. His steals are actually very good. I was looking at the block numbers. Over 1 steal per game. So actually not very good, but he's adequate there. But that would be where I would expect the Celtics to try to attack him, make him work on the defensive side of the ball, and try to limit him offensively, because this is a guy who, as we said, is very fast, will like to get out and run. And if you can keep him from getting out and running, obviously, and making him work, making him get tired on the defensive end, that would certainly work to the Celtics' benefit. Now, Avery Bradley is more of a guy who likes to shoot. Let's see if he tries to drive the ball or what happens. And again, will Jeff Teague possibly mark up Isaiah Thomas? You have the speed, you have the size. Even though Jeff Teague is not the greatest defender, I think he would be a good matchup against Isaiah Thomas as well. So it's going to be very interesting. And again, if you have Isaiah Thomas, or if he's marking up Isaiah Thomas, you would work with him that way. But Jeff Teague, certainly his numbers have dipped just a little bit, but they haven't been precipitously dropping. It's nothing terrible. And like we said, his assist numbers were good last year, only 5.9 assists per game this year. Not great. I have him more in the bottom end of the second tier of point guards in this league. But still, he's been a very good player, and I'm looking for him in this series to be a very big factor. All right, so there is your player focus. Jeff Teague, the point guard of the Atlanta Hawks. We're going to come back in just a minute and give you the awards, the honors: all NBA first team, second team, third team, all defensive first and second, all rookie first and second, and the all reserve team, which we will get into when we make that video. Thank you.